Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Leadership Podcast. I'm your co host, Andrew Gay, along with Mr. Tom Fox, and we are here with Wynita Yancy today to talk about leadership. First of all, thank you, Wynita, for joining us. Good to have you. How you doing?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Good, good. Okay, well, let's just start with the basics and then kind of build from there. So, you want to tell everybody who you are and where you're from and maybe what you do for work?
Yes, sir. So, yes, Wynita Yancy from Chicago originally, but I live in Kerrville, Texas now. I've been here for just over a year. Had my 1 year anniversary in December. I am currently the director of marketing and public relations for Hill Country Youth Ranch. And what I get to work on out there are events, media relations, and really just having the community come out, learn about us, and plug you in wherever you want to get more involved.
Awesome. Do you want to tell us maybe how you found Leadership Kerr County?
You know who I found it was Ashley Phillips. She's been such an advocate for me. She was the person in my role before, my predecessor at the youth ranch. And we were in my office at the ranch just having a catch up conversation. And I think she was maybe 3 or 4 months pregnant and wasn't telling anybody yet. And she told me, so she said, I'm really upset because I can't do Leadership Kerr this year because she had applied the year before and couldn't do it then. And then this is the year she couldn't do it because of her baby. And I was like, what's Leadership Kerr? Because I was like, cool, baby. We had a hug and we cried. And I was like, what's Leadership Kerr? She goes, oh, you should look it up. She's like, I think the application's due tomorrow. Or maybe like it was that Friday. It was such a tight turnaround. And I was like, huh. I mean, it may have been the next day. I'm not kidding you. And so I Googled it. I'm like, this is perfect because, I was in a marketing role. I'm new to the town, new to the county, and I wanted to meet people. And obviously, I love relationship. I love connecting. And she was telling me how it was great to learn about all the different parts of Kerr County. I obviously have desire to make a contribution in all different kinds of ways. So I Googled it and saw that it was a application was due in maybe let's say 48 hours. So I told my boss Tim, and I told Gary, our founder, and they both were very kind to write a very nice note for me. And I submit the application like the day. Oh, and I think I remember I didn't realize it was an in-person drop off. I figured I could just like email it, and they make you drop off your application. So I like skirted my to get there to get the application in. So it's been really great.
That's great. That's great. Tom?
So, Anita, one of the reasons I was so excited to have you on this podcast is we've talked to people who've gone through the program before, but we haven't been able to have the opportunity to meet with someone who's currently in the program. So, I was wondering if you could give us two or three of the highlights so far for you.
That's a great question because truly we're almost done. It'll be over in April, and there's been so many highlights. I would say the first and foremost, I loved the initial mixer. To be honest with you, like the first event where you accept your name badge, and you meet your steering committee and you meet your group. But having I think been at the ranch for a couple of months before having leadership career acceptance, I had been going on different groups, networking groups, Rotary, and I truly thought this. I thought all of the best people that I've liked in all the different groups were in that room. It was a very concentrated, high vibe, energy people that were there. It was like Marta, I love Marta at Shriner, and all just these people that I personally love talking to at different meetings were all there, and they all were just speaking so highly of it. So the anticipation was just set because all these people had gone through it and they're somewhere in the community making an impact that I would want to do. So it felt really great to do that. So I recommend it just in terms of just it's the most concentrated, high quality group of people that I have found. So that was, I'd say, the first thing. Um, and each month has been different. I think one of the best things too is it's so thoughtfully curated. It really does connect someone wanting to get involved and learn more with all the different aspects of this county. And you're really truly introduced to them. And your face is seen by people where it's so much easier to make the relationship because they've seen you in leadership her. So if you're trying to do business or start something or be a part of something, it's just such a high touch point to connect very, very easily. And I'd say just one of the most impactful, I know I discussed it with Andrew just a minute ago, but we just had our nonprofit day. And obviously, I think I have a soft heart for the space being a nonprofit and always have, cultivating work in nonprofit, even from a passion perspective. The nonprofit day, they did a poverty simulation. And I had never experienced that. Some people have. I have never experienced this, where you basically are put in a situation to experience extreme levels of poverty. And you have to make decisions, and you really do respond emotionally. And it does soften your heart and open your mind to this whole world that perhaps we haven't been exposed to. So I would just say it's very thoughtful. It's going to challenge you professionally, mentally, emotionally, and it will grow you. I feel like I've grown already since being a part of it.
That was a great answer. You're the easiest podcast guest ever.
Yay!
And you guys haven't even had the Public Works Day yet. I don't think
No.
that's coming up, and I think that was one of my favorite because it shines light on the nooks and crannies of the pieces of the county and the city that have to work together, and that I'd never been exposed before. Like the aquifer and all this stuff that
Right.
So that was really cool. So there's still more to come.
And we go to Austin, I think, in a couple of months,
We
and
do.
go to the
That's-
Capitol.
That's my trip this year.
So, okay,
yeah.
I'm excited for that one. I already have my skirt picked out.
Yeah.
You do wear the same shirt every month, though. And as a personal, I have an old life of a fashion stylist from college, so I just love fashion. And so I'm always like the same shirt every month. But I have like cute little pants or like jewelry to make it fun. We can go on the next question.
I'm on the hook for that too, but it's the one, and that shirt's like super big on me, so it's just like whatever. It's the only time I wear it.
It is a cute blue though,
But-
and it is like a kind of a fit where it is a cute shirt
Okay.
to wear it every month. But I don't like repeating outfits in general.
We're gonna turn this into a fashion
Sorry,
show.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Next,
Okay.
but you know what though? Leadership tip: when you look good, you feel good. When
There
you
you
feel
go.
good, and then that feeling sets the tone. You don't see any queens running the world in like shabby outfits.
Sometimes you just want to go in a tux before 6 p.m. or a white dress.
Yeah.
You know, you
Sometimes,
just want to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
sometimes you
Yeah.
do.
What else? You got another question?
Yeah.
Juanita?
So you're from Chicago.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
from Houston. Obviously, both big towns. And at least my experience in Houston with Houston government was my impact was I got to vote, and that was basically it. And one of the reasons I found the Leadership Kerr uh, so unique and such a great innovation is it allows the regular person, the ordinary citizen, anyone who's interested can learn about their city, their county, their government. And if they choose to get involved, they could get more involved after the completing the course. And so I was wondering if you might, looking back on your, growing up in Chicago as well, how do you see that sort of dynamic where here you're actually learning about specific, water, power, nonprofits, a wide variety of parts of this city that you wouldn't perhaps not been exposed to as opposed to the anonymity of growing up in the big city.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you can imagine, with my energy, I do find ways to get involved and learn. Like I have the gift of curiosity, which mostly serves me well. I would say the difference, because I really was able to get some movement and get involved in Chicago. I would say the difference, though, here is the values that really speak to me the most. I think, like I was saying before, being in Texas, I just see there's a lot more collaboration for building a future together. And I think I think in Chicago, you can learn, and to your point, vote and maybe like network at a cute cocktail hour, but you're not going to really have impact. And I think here, being with Leadership Kerr and being plugged in, there's lots of open doors to actually then get like roll up your sleeves and get in the game. And I think being in Leadership Kerr is a very great segue to get your hands dirty and whatever. I'm learning there are so many areas to volunteer, to be on a board, to, put your voice in the ring to just be heard. And I feel that it actually is heard. I think in the Hill Country, especially, if you have something to say and a little bit, of weight or grit behind it, people will hear you and can come around you. I mean, even y'all doing this podcast together, there's collaboration and energy of getting things moving forward that I think exists here. That's very special. And leadership is a very great avenue to connect with people and be a part of the momentum happening in this whole country.
So if you had a vision for Kerrville and leadership being a central role in that vision, what do you think that would look like, just from Wynita's perspective?
Say it again.
Your vision for Kerrville, what would it look like? Talk about that.
You know what it is. I've been saying it. We need a car service. We need Uber. But we don't have to plug that right now. I mean, to be honest with you, if we're going to be real, I am helping bring a car service to Kerrville. There's already, can I plug it right now?
Sure. Go ahead.
It's called awaycarservice.com. So, I mean, just being from a big city, like when I got here and, maybe you're at Trailhead and I'm like, oh, there's Uber. Everyone's like, you're not Ubering. I'm like, I'm going to Uber. Like, no, you can't Uber here. There's no Uber. That was like, what do you mean there's no Uber? Like, how do you have a town with all these people and so much social activity? There's so much networking and we have these amazing events and galas and you can't get a ride home? Like, I don't get it. So my vision includes a car service for the Hill Country. Go to Fredericksburg with a car. I mean, how many times you want to go over there with your girlfriends and you literally can't book a car? And I've heard the drivers that are around here are sketchy. So I was like, this is next level. So, but I digress, but awaycarservice.com is live right now. Anyway, though I'd say the vision, besides that, Andrew, that's really it. I love it the way it is. I know it's growing.
So to just build on it the way that it is.
With a
You
car
think we
service.
we have a solid foundation that just needs its car service.
I mean, I do because, there's so much here. Like, and again, maybe I have like trauma from a big city that I'm like, I don't want lots of people. I don't want that big city stuff here. I like it the way it is where, I mean, it's growing and I'm here and people are moving in, but it's like we have cute wine shops and wineries and we have good restaurants and, like there's farms and chickens in people's backyards. Like, that's so cool. People like grow their own spinach. Like, I love Texas. So I haven't really processed that. I love all the charity work. There's so much philanthropy out here, so many volunteer opportunities. I mean, people have, I think, found this like secret spot of bliss, kind of like whatever you want to do, you can do it here. If you're an entrepreneur, start something. If you
validating our life decisions right now about moving here.
It's true though, right?
I'm with you on that.
It's beautiful. So I would just say, just keep it green, like pray for rain, get volunteered somewhere, and then go to away.com for a car service.
There you go.
Okay. Oh my God.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much for your viewership and your participation. Unless, Tom, you have any other last questions to wrap us up? Okay. Wynita, thank you very much again for being here. It's been a pleasure. Okay, guys, thank you so much. See you on the next episode.